Hey everyone, it's your girl Avi'Yam Jordan with So Official TV. And at The I Love, we had Keke Palmer come to showcase her new movie, Brotherly Love, which does hit theaters April 24th, 2015. So make sure you check it out. Now, when it comes to your roles, how do you relate to your characters? Like, what was it about their story that made it seem like, man, I really want to show who they are?
I think a lot of times with our generation today, we can feel chastised by the generation before us, or just in general with the media. I think we can often be displayed in a very negative way. And I felt with this movie, it showed the generation talking about what's going on in the day, but not in a way that made you as a viewer feel like they were judging themselves. You kind of had more compassion and understanding for their dispositions and what was going on around them.
What made me connect with his struggle was that I have so many friends, even though my life didn't directly correlate to his scenario connected to so many people who I knew. And I felt like this was an opportunity for me to help the world find out about their story, because they don't necessarily have the platform in order to explain what it is that they're going through and be able to create an opportunity for other people who are going through what they're going through to be able to see that there are other options.
And I also remember you guys were talking about making this movie a classic. So what about this movie makes it stand out from another production?
What makes this movie stand out to me is that there isn't one for this generation. I think this is a very specific story for our generation. You know, you can think back in the old days, or I don't even mean to say the old days because this is not even that long ago, but you think about the Love and Basketballs, think about The Wood, or, you know, Higher Learning. Our generation doesn't have that version of a film. We have like Think Like a Man and stuff like that, or we have Superbad, but it's like nothing that really, you know, I don't have many films where I look like the character, you know what I'm saying? For this generation and this time, I have to reach back to watch a film like that. And so I wanted to create a film that, you know, I was a part of, that represented what I wanted to see.
This film, every single character goes through something where now I actually have a film where, like Keke said, where we look like the individuals, where I can go, look, this is exactly what I was talking about. Do you know what I'm saying? So for other films in which I can actually be a part of something that conveys a message that I really believe in, oh yes, definitely, I'm looking forward to the opportunity to be a part of projects.
And I agree with that exactly. I mean, that's the same thing I feel, because Brotherly Love is only one version of those many stories. It can be told different ways.
Yeah.
This one is just some kids in Philadelphia that are in a poverty-stricken area trying to figure out how to get out. Another one may be we're in college trying to figure out how to, exactly. It'll be different. It'll be different types, and this is just the first one of what I hope will be many.
Yes.
Have you ever been faced with roles where you didn't agree, but you done them anyway? Or how did you deny that role because you didn't want that to portray to your audience?
Ooh, that's a great question. I've had a couple of, like I remember when I was a kid, after I did Killing the Bee, I had gotten offered to do this television show on a major network where it's like, you know, my mama had a gold tooth and she was sitting on the porch drinking a 40. And it's like, I can understand that is somebody's life, but in the way that it was being told, it was like you were laughing at that community as opposed to finding a way to relate to them. Like, maybe my mom was drinking a 40 ounce and had a gold tooth, but why couldn't I be in the bedroom listening to Mozart? Why couldn't I be saying, you know, I want to get out of here, I'm listening to Bach or something like that. And, you know, I tried to say that, my mom did try to say that to the people that were creating the project, and they weren't willing to change that, so I had to let go. And, you know, that was like $30,000 an episode that I didn't get, you know, that I would have been making at like the age of, I think I was 11. And it's like you have to sometimes say goodbye to those things if they're not going to go along with the message that you're trying to bring.
It's at a point where you have to really have the foresight to think about, okay, when this blows up, is this something that I want to be a part of? You know, and ultimately what's wild is I had the fortune of our cast member, Justin, his mom and I had an incredible conversation where she's like, you got to start thinking about your brand. And, you know, I have such a limited number of Instagram followers. I was like, why do I need a brand? Why do I need to start thinking about a brand? But the reality is that when you get into this career and when you get into this craft and you decide to turn it into a career and a profession, you do have to start thinking about your brand. So it requires you to either have the foresight, figure out a way to gain the foresight, or once you do have it, now you have to use that as a tool to figure out how you want to create your brand.
Absolutely.
Yeah. There was an interview that I watched of you. They had an interview with your mom, and the guy asked, how proud was she of you? And she just started crying. How do you feel to be 21 years old and your mom is that proud of you?
Saying, I just talked to you guys at dinner the other day. Like, so many things happen in our lives. As you know, we break up with somebody, or, you know, we lose a friend, or we lose opportunity. And literally what goes in my mind, I'm not even kidding, I think, at least I've got my mom. At least I've got, my mom is always there for me. My mom has always believed in me to the point where she picked up her kids and told her husband, let's drive 4 days and 3 nights to California because I believe in what Keke has. And it's that faith and that belief in me that really has carried me through all my life. So when I see her crying, I see her affected, it just, that pushes me so hard to just keep going. It keeps me motivated because I know somebody's in my corner. The person that matters the most is in my corner.
Yeah. And lastly, I remember you were talking about how you had a spiritual journey and revelations, and I follow you on Twitter, and you talk about spirituality and energy. So how do you both maintain your peace in a world such as Hollywood?
And my mom always told me as a kid, peace, be still. Sometimes you just have to sit down. You have to sit down, take a breath, and just relax and understand that the answers are within you. But if you don't spend time with yourself and you're too busy going, never giving yourself a break, then you're not even allowing God to really get the moment to speak to you. You can pray, but you have to relax and let him give you the answers, you know what I mean? But if you're moving too much, you're not going to be able to find it.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
Great day. It was a pleasure.
Yes, of course.
Very much.
Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Saturday night and we in the spot. Don't believe me, just watch. 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 Hey, 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 oh! Stop. Wait a minute. Fill my cup, put some nigga in it. Take a sip, sign the check. Julio, get the stretch. Right to Harlem, Hollywood, Jackson, Mississippi. If we show up, we gon' show out. Smoother than a fresh drop skipping.